If you're a parent with young kids in daycare, stick around for this video. If you're a person who thinks they might have kids in daycare or any kind of childcare, stick around. It is so important that we talk about the cost of childcare. The cost of childcare is unaffordable for many and inaccessible. A lot of people can't even access daycare, and it's a major topic of conversation around parents of young children because the cost is truly astronomical. I pay about $20,000 a year per child for childcare here in Massachusetts, which is about average. That's the average around here. It goes way higher and it goes a little lower too. But I'm here not to burst any bubbles, but to shed light on what happens after your kids get out of daycare. Because oftentimes we talk about the light at the end of the tunnel. When they turn 5, when they go to kindergarten, we're going to be rolling in it. We're going to have so much money. We're going to have such relief. But unfortunately, that just doesn't tend to be the case because most people who utilize daycare have full-time jobs. And if you have a full-time job, you typically need to be at that job between like 9 and 5, give or take, right? Unfortunately, for most of us, our children's schools, our public schools don't follow that schedule. For me, my kid's bus doesn't pick them up till almost 8:45. 8:45. If I'm to drop them off at school, it's 9:05. So let's just talk, that's already pushing it for the work day, right? And school ends at 3 o'clock. And they are home, either picked up at 3 o'clock or off the bus at 3:30. That's leaving a huge chunk of time I still need to be at work. Therefore, you need after-school care. After-school care can be incredibly expensive. I think it is important to talk about the cost of after-school care because the cost does not go away when your kids leave daycare. In our town, I was looking at the rates for after-school care, and it's about $46 a day, depending on which one you go to, for after-school care. So it's like $8,000 to $9,000 a year per child for after-school care. That is not even for anything in the summer. I just paid for camp for my kids for the summer. It was almost $7,000 for 2 of them. So you add that on top of the after-school care costs, you are now over $10,000 a year per child. And so while you're saving a drastic amount, you're not saving as much as you think you would. It's about a 50% savings from daycare. So I just say this as a PSA. Prepare for the school-aged years. It is important to remember that there are still big costs associated with kids who are in school, even if it's not daycare.